I live? I'm live right now. Sorry, I'm a little dry. I've been out in the sun. That's not an exaggeration. I actually been. Today is election day on Chile, so I went out and voted and give my vote. So yes, that's how we're starting the stream. Hello, welcome, welcome to another episode of Mike's Log. I haven't done this one of these in a while. There's a good reason for that, but Maxlog was always the program that I wanted to like kickstart from the Godzilla Battle Line content and spread it out to for other sources of entertainment like movies, other games, not only Godzilla Battle Line, maybe even Godzilla movies. I wanted to do a review on Godzilla minus one for the longest time. I wasn't able to because of time reasons. I may be able to do it in the upcoming days. I also wanted to do a review on the Mario movie, the first one. We're going to talk about the sequel in about a few moments. But yes, this is like the program that I wanted to make it the program of the channel, like the main program. And the other ones being like the Tales of a Beginner. I wanted to do Tales of a Beginner for other games, but it wasn't like into many other like gacha games, so I didn't see a point on it. But yes, this will be it. So this is like a new start. So for everyone who's watching it, oh, I forgot to do something. There we go. I'm going to put the title of the topic. It was here, over here. I'm going to put the title of each topic so it's easier for anyone to find the topic that they're interested in and on the timeline. And also, it will be easier for me for the timestamps. And that will be like more preferable for all of us, right? So yes, starting this is Max Log. This is my like personal podcast. I'm going to start reviewing, ranting in some cases, and I have a pretty big rant later, uh, involving one of my favorite gaming franchises. But yes, a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of stuff. So I didn't resume doing the Mike's log because I didn't found many topics that would be interesting to speak to talk about in a podcast format. But I don't know what happened this year. Like this year, many franchises and companies like resumed their activities that were like left incomplete before the pandemic. So now we're seeing like continuations and continuation of projects that were like left behind. Like that Godzilla. I'm not gonna talk about it in the stream, but like that Godzilla Apple TV show now is getting a second season, which is weird to see, but that's great. It's great for the fans of that series. I never watch it because I don't have Apple TV. And Apple TV, I think in South America, it's not available. I have to check that out. But maybe I will watch it for maybe a review for the upcoming second season. That will be interesting. But yes, this will be the new format moving forward. Does that mean the end of Godzilla Battle Line streams? No, but after the end of the year, don't expect much Godzilla Battle Line content in this channel. Maybe here and there some streams, but no dedicated video, no reviews about new units, not anything. So just setting in the expectations straight. So let's read here the chat since Lord Silla, the always lovely Lord Silla, who always is here in the chat. Thank you for being here. Says, how are you doing, Mike? I'm doing well. And a Toto update. For those who don't know, Toto is my pet tortoise who's not going through the best of time. I I rescued him from kind of a bad owner. So yes, I'm working on it to I'm working on getting Toto back to health, which is not in the great of health. We have some exam results, which I actually uploaded the exam results, the blood exams results, on my community tab here in this channel. So if you know about if you're a veterinarian and you would like to give me some input, if you if you saw something that my vet didn't see or that I didn't see, let me know. Their exams are on the community tab. So yeah, Toto's doing better. He's sitting by its own. Um, I took it again this week for another vet visit, and he was doing kind of okay. He had some of the abscess, some of a bit of abscess still on his wound, so they have to open the wound again, which was painful to see because it was almost closed. He had an open wound which they took an abscess from it. It was closing, slowly closing. Now because they found more of like chunks of abscess in his shoulder, they had to open the wound to take it out. So it was kind of painful to watch him go through that pain again, but it's all for his better health. But yes, he is slowly recovering. We're finding more and more stuff wrong with him. We're working through it. The best option is still hospitalization, which is, as I said before many times, I can afford. It would be great, like if this channel, if this podcast, like takes up and maybe people start watching and I get monetized, it would be great. But I'm not gonna like beg for anything. Like if it happens, it happens. But be aware, only if you can help. I have a job. Yeah, I'm not a millionaire. Yeah, I'm not able to hospitalize him for the days that I need to, but I'm able to give him the treatment that he needs right now. So I'm doing fine. It's just a little help, but don't think that I'm starving. No, none of that. But yes, that's like how I'm doing, how Toto's doing. I'm kind of expecting right now for the, like I said, it's election day here in Chile, so I'm expecting for those results. Give me just a second here, and I'm going to silence my WhatsApp page because my WhatsApp tab, so it doesn't interfere here on the stream. So yes, we have plenty of topics. A lot of stuff happened this week. So we're going to start with, let's see, let's make visible the gallery. This, which I think is going to interest a lot of people. So this is the Steam machine. So yeah, the company Steam, which probably many know for that, the the online video store for games. Um, yeah, very well known. I don't think it needs an introduction, but they've announced that they're going to like release a console that is also a PC, which, for what I read, it's going to be 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, the console that the portable console that they released a few years back. I think 2 years at much. I think, but yeah, the Steam Deck didn't light the world on fire, but I don't think Steam predicted it would. Like for such an expensive piece of hardware, it's not going to compete with the Switch because it's too expensive for that. But I think it got a niche audience, which is great to see because we need competition. And I think that is the key word here, competition. I really think that Steam is going to take Xbox place in the console wars, which I think they need to come back. Xbox has given up. We haven't seen many games from them. I think we haven't seen any game from them in this generation. And Sony and the PlayStation brand, they're taking full advantage of it, and they're not releasing too many games either. And like as you can see, the PS5 doesn't have like any exclusive. I don't think, because the only exclusive that they had was that Ratchet and Clank game because of it works like from one stage to another on real time. I think that wasn't possible on the PS4, and that's why they didn't release that game on the PS4, unlike they did with Horizon and also with God of War Ragnarok. But the PS5 needs exclusive games, and more than just Ratchet and Clank. You need many more. And I think look, how long has the PS5 been out on the market? I think it's 5 years, is it not? PlayStation 5. Give me just a sec because I want to give the real number. PlayStation 5 real, real estate. 2020. It goes 5 years on the market. Listen to that, 5 years, and we have how many exclusive? I'm also going to check because I don't want to give like um erroneous information. Exclusive games. How many do we have? Okay, we have Astrobot. That game had a lot of going out for it, but wasn't Astrobot also released on PS4? No, only in PS5. That's good. The PS5 really needed more games. Although, for what I've seen of Astrobot, nothing that I've seen couldn't run on the PS4, if I'm being honest. So, no, but it's good to see. It's good to see the console itself, the producers themselves, realizing that no, we need to make the generation jump now. We need more games on the new generation. The PS4 for us is all history, as it should be. There are video game consoles. There are video game console producers. They need to sell the console as well, not just the game. In the console, I'm tired of having the next generation of consoles just being like from 180p, 1080p to 4K, and that's the jump. And the games barely look different. Like many people just have 1080p television screens, which they're fine. Like I have one. I've also had a 4K, but I've since downgraded since I didn't have like the need for that television anymore. So I sold it and downgraded to a 1080p and it looks fine. Like I can tell the difference, but I don't need the 4K all the time. And also, not not every single like the streaming software, Netflix and all. Yeah, I know Netflix they themselves have a 4K option, but not many streaming services do. Also, 1080p it's a standard definition, which is great to see. Like you can see the details that you need to see. It doesn't look blurry. It looks great. So yeah, I think generational leaps should feel like a leap instead of just like going from one software like the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. I think many of the generational jumps are being treated that way. Even now, the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, many games from for the Nintendo Switch 2 are releasing on the Nintendo Switch 1, which in that case it's a little more forgivable. Not because I want to defend Nintendo or anything, even though I am a Nintendo fan, but I have criticism of Nintendo as well. For instance, uh, many games that release on the Switch 1 and 2 simultaneously shouldn't have released that way. But on the same time, like look at how much time has the Switch 2 released, and by this time they already have more that the Nintendo Switch 2 already has more exclusives than the PS5, which is crazy. Like it released this year, so it shouldn't be that way, but it is. So yeah, I think the Steam Machine releasing as a video game console, which also works as a PC, that is important to note because you can connect this console to your mouse, to your keyboard, to your TV, and there you go. You have a PC that you can connect to your TV and do all your stuff from there. You can do your video editing. You can do your image editing as well. You it's going to be a very interesting device to check out. I don't know if I'm going to be buying one because the price is still not revealed. Sorry, it's still not confirmed. But Valve said, sorry, sorry about that. Valve said that they're looking forward to making the Steam Machine competitive to PCs of the like similar capacities, which is an interesting way of putting it. For me, that only sounds that it's going to be much expensive than a regular video game console. But with the prices that we're seeing, like the PS5, I don't know the price that the PS5 released like officially on the United States, but here in Chile it was quite a lot. It was almost like similar to $1,000, like the equivalent of $1,000. That was a price that it released here when it launched, so it was quite a lot of money. and not many people could afford that. Now it's like a 400, $500, I think, which is a way more affordable price. But when you look at history of video game consoles, like the Nintendo Wii here arrived like at $280, like conversion wise. I don't know about inflation, but we have to look those numbers up. But for this topic, I think it's very interesting. I think the Steam Machine has the potential of being the next big thing, like having your Steam Machine be compatible with everything that you own on your Steam page. It's a big thing because you will not need to have like a virtual console that Nintendo has, or the what's the name of now the Nintendo Online like service where you can download like the gallery of NES games, SNES games, the Nintendo 64. Now they added GameCube, which is interesting to see. But with Steam, you already have the old games. Like you would need retro compatibility. It's already worked in, so that's going to be a big thing, especially now that, if I'm being honest, it's way more. Um, it's more worth of your time to take a look back on your old library of games than to look for the new games that are releasing. Because the new games that are releasing right now, they're looking quite rough. Looking at some very weird choices on writing. We're looking at weird choices on mechanics. I'm going to go in more in depth on a future video, I think. For now, on the next topic, we're going to look more for that. But yes, the Steam Machine definitely is going to have a place on the current generation. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how available it's going to be because, like, for instance, here in South America, it was very difficult to get yourself a Steam Deck, and when you got yourself one, it was more expensive than it is on the United States. I think over there it was like $800. Right here they were selling it at 1,000, $1,500. So yeah, it was quite a steep price. If you want one, you have to export one or travel to the US, buy one, and come back with it. So yeah, I hope they can make it more attainable, which is going to be that for me. That is a make it or break it of this video game console. If they make it, even if they make it way more expensive, because right here in Chile we are like already used to the prices that like the deluxe prices that we're seeing on games. And if the Steam machine is attainable enough and also user friendly enough, for me that's going to be a big issue if Steam or Valve can work around that and make the video game console, which is already a big step on making it user friendly. If you can they can make it even more like easy, like they can have to make it foolproof, and they have a big chance of success on their hands right now. So I'll be looking fast, already giving up. And it's going to be great to see some competition getting back to the console wars, because yeah, Nintendo like is going into its own way, which Steam now has the potential of like snatching also. If they can make the Steam Deck like competitive to the Switch too, I think they have something big on their hands. But yeah, that will be like for the Steam machine for now. Let's switch up on to our next topic. Give me a second. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. We had a trailer. Mario Galaxy movie. Okay. So yes, we had a trailer on the form of as a Nintendo Direct. It was a mix up between trailer and some like highlights on some characters, like the newly added Bowser Jr. and also Rosalina. Rosalina is going to be voiced by Brie Larson, which some people are complaining, especially right there on the United States. I don't have a problem with it. Like, oh yes, it looks like lazy casting. Which, if I'm being honest, the Mario movie it's like already guilty of that. For me, all of the casting that they had on the first movie, it's kind of lazy. It was like, oh, we need a male lead. Which one we had? Chris Pratt. Great. We need a second character that is almost like a comic relief. Who we have? Oh, the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, let's bring him in. We need a female protagonist who's hot right now. the Queen's Gambit girl. Yeah, let's get what's the name? Anna Taylor Joy, is it? Yeah, let me check because I'm blanking on some names. Uh, yeah, Anna Taylor Joy. And yeah, as I said, the movie itself, the franchise itself seems to be full of like um lazy lazy casting, which yeah, Brie Larson adds to that because as I said, who do we need? Oh, this is a space woman. Oh, we have Brie Larson, which was Captain Marvel on the Marvel movies. Yeah, so let's get her. And she's a. I think this is one of the best points for her that she is a big Nintendo fan, which we already knew because she has some like tweets, like olden day tweets, not something recent that you can see. Oh, she is chilling for Nintendo in order for her to get this role, or she's chilling because she got the role. No, there are some like outside of the movie franchise of the Hollywood sphere that she said that she played the Mario Galaxy movies. I mean the Mario Galaxy movie, the Mario Galaxy games, and also that she is a big Nintendo fan, which is great to see on these situations. Like when you have someone that is a voice actor for this game, and she turns out to be also a Nintendo fan, you have something there because, as I said on my last stream, I freaking hate when they add people that are not fans of the franchises and they take pride on that. Like they say, for instance, on the Marvel movies, "Oh, we brought some writer that hasn't read any of the comics, and that's a good thing." No, it's not a good thing. Why would I want someone who hasn't read the comics on which these movies are based on? If you don't want to adapt the comic, don't make a Marvel movie. Go and do your own movies. Why are you adding like your crazy Hollywood archetype to the Marvel formula? You don't need that. But yes, I think Brie Larson is a good addition. It sounded decent as in the clip that we saw, the clip of Rosalina that we saw. So yeah, not much complain about there. The one that complains is Ben Safdie as Bowser Jr. I don't know much about Ben Safdie. I think he has been on some like Adam Sandler movies, and also he has been on some Nolan movies. He's said to be on the Odyssey. He's almost 40, and you can tell on his voice. And for me, it's not appropriate at all for Bowser Jr. Like I get that for Nintendo, this is like a whole universe of movies that you want to bring in, so it's not very appropriate for them on the business way of thinking that they have for Nintendo and Universal who are making this movie. It doesn't make sense for them to have a kid making the voice because the kid is going to grow up and his voice is going to change. So um you need to take those changes that the actor is having and and add them to your character. So what I'm saying is, if you add a kid, if the kid grows up like in the next 4 years, which is like the cycle of the movie making business, what I'm trying to say, if you cast a kid now and you make a sequel of the movie, the kid is not going to sound like a kid on the next movie because kids grow up so fast that he's going to sound like a teen by that point. And you have to make Bowser Jr. a teen because it's going to sound weird with the kid's voice and the same design. You have to like age the character up with your actor. That is the business way of thinking. For me, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, why do you have a character that is literally called Bowser Jr. and you have a 40-year-old voicing him? Like, how old is Jack Black? Jack Black is 16 years older than the actor that is playing Bowser Jr. He's 16 years older. I needed a kid. I wanted a kid making making this voice, or having an actor young enough that it can sound like a kid. I would have put it a voice actor really, not maybe a voice actress because I don't like some people, especially American people, are going to hate me for this. But I don't think Americans have very good voice actors, but very good voice actresses. And I never heard of an American voice actress that has fooled me into thinking that she sounds like a kid. I always hear like an older woman going, and that is her kid voice, and I should accept it as a kid. I never got that. So I would have casted a kid like they did in like shows like Chowder. Chowder is literally a kid the whole series, and then yeah, you can see you can hear the crack of the voice of the kid growing up. But it's a kid. Like in those first few seasons, it's so believable of his performance because him being a kid, his ingenuity and his innocence is written on the character, and I think that should have been the case for Bowser Jr. in this movie. But yeah, we have what's the name? Something something. We have Ben Safdie, which again I don't think he's a bad performer for the other roles that I've seen him in. I saw him on Oppenheimer, and I thought he was okay. But like, take, just hear that phrase. The voice, the character, the actor that is going to be the voice of Bowser Jr. appeared on Oppenheimer, which is full of older people. What do you need an older guy to play Bowser Jr.? For me, it doesn't make sense. I don't think it's going to ruin the movie for me, especially since I don't watch these movies in English. I watch them. I watch the Spanish stuff, especially the Latin American Spanish stuff, which for me it's freaking almost perfect. Like almost every voice that they casted on the Latin American version, they sound perfect as the each individual character. For me, the biggest issue is when you cast someone, whoever it is, on your American based movie production, and then you start like hiring the actors for the dub. Usually they pick characters or voice actors or voices that can sound alike the voice that you casted on the English version. So, for instance, I saw the trailer from the Mario Galaxy movie in Spanish, but the the voice of Bowser Jr. also sounds way too old for the character that it is. Again, I would have loved to have a kid on the role because it would sound like a kid. It's Bowser Jr. He's a kid. In many of the games, it even sounds like he may be a baby, more like a kid, like a 6 year old maybe. So yeah, hearing his voice to be of that of a 40-year-old man for me is a big mistake, and honestly don't think I mean, as I said before, I know what's the reason of it. They want to make a big franchise and they want the voice of the character to be consistent in every entry that he's in. But why a 40-year-old? Was it like in the final case, wasn't Tom Holland available? Which can sound like a very young guy when when he needs to. Like if you're going to go with the most obvious character actors. Did you pick Tom Holland? You had it right there. If you need a younger guy, you have Tom Holland right there. So again, it and that is not the ideal casting. My ideal casting would have been a kid, a voice actor kid. But yeah, and that would be it. The rest of the movie looked fine. Like you could tell that they're building up a franchise, and also you can tell that they're building up that it not only shows the Mario Galaxy aspect that which they're going to include many like winks to the game itself, which is great to see. That is one of the things that I very much like about the Mario movie. It wasn't shy of being a video game movie, which is not something that I could say for other video game movies. Like we were talking with Lord Sila and I think Darkro on my last stream. The Resident Evil movies apparently they feel like they are ashamed of being a video game movie. Which why you come from a video game? Why are you ashamed of your origins? Yeah, celebrate your origins. You are a video game movie. The people that came to see the movie are gamers of your gaming franchise. Why are you ashamed of that? But and I like about that about the Mario movie, the first one, and it looks like it's going to be the same for this. There are many like winks to the Mario Galaxy games, but I also noted we also have to Serena from Super Mario Odyssey, which it's kind of weird. They're mixing older, like how do I put this? They're mixing older lore with the new one, but I don't know if it's coming together. It's welding together true. Like we already saw Tosarena, I think, on the first movie as well. But here, for me, it doesn't make sense that they go to Tostarena or the. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi go to Tostarena while Peach and Toad are on the Galaxy adventure. For me, it doesn't make much sense. Like, if you're gonna make the Mario Galaxy movie, you had it right there on going to different planets. Why are you bringing Odyssey aspects on this movie, which is Mario Galaxy? For me, it should have been like another planet. Like, if you want to make the desert planet from the Galaxy games, that should have been it. Or maybe the lava level. That is also a very good, very cinematic, like kind of level to show in a movie with the giant octopus and stuff. I think that would have been a great like setting to show. But the movie seems, like I said, following the first Mario movie steps. Apparently, I hope it's good. I honestly hope because I haven't gone into much detail, but the full Super Mario franchise has been my favorite video game franchise of all time. I freaking love the game, and for me, the first Mario movie it really put an end to my nostalgia for my childhood because that was something that I was living through since my early 20s and was something that I struggled to leave behind. And when the first Mario movie came, I said, "Okay, this is it. This movie is everything that my kid self wanted to see as a Mario movie." And here it is. Here it is on the screen. I don't need to see more. Like this movie, I'm reviewing it more for the channel mostly, but I'm also like considering to take my my younger family members to watch it just because they want to watch it. But for me, as myself, as a Mario fan, I used to be Mario fan since my childhood. I'm okay with the first Mario movie, and that's it. I can leave my childhood behind me. But this is great for kids, like for newer kids. So it was a very good move from Nintendo to release the Super Mario Galaxy movie and also make the compilation of Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 on a single games to release very closely when you're marketing this movie. So now the hype up for those games it's kind of back, which is great. More kids are going to play those games, which are great games, especially for kids, and that's going to drive more interest to the movie. So everything seems great. So yeah, that would be it for the Mario Galaxy movie. As I said, Brie Larson sounds fine for Rosalina. I don't have any issue with it. Ben Safi, I don't think it sounds too great, but I don't think it's going to ruin the movie. Let's go to our next topic, which is here. Oh man, Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 4. Let's change the title. Here we go. So Metro Prime 4, another entry in the Metro Prime franchise. It's very obvious with with the number 4. Um, if I'm being honest, I'm a very big Metroid fan. I used to play all of the 2D games. Although that would be it. I've never played a Metroid Prime entry on the franchise, so I can't speak for much like gameplay aspect or such. I've seen some gameplays on YouTube, but what I have to say about those games is they mostly kept the tone of Metroid very consistent because Metroid is a game that is not full horror, but the suspension aspect is very important for the franchise. And now here we have some like gameplay videos from for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which are very concerning. We saw that for a so I don't know if it's the whole game. I don't think it is because I also saw some videos where in which Samus goes with a bike, like explores a big planet, like it's a big area. It looks like an almost like an open game. I don't think it's going to be to that extent, but it's going to be a big area that you have to traverse on a bike. Um, but there comes a point in which you are accompanied by a character that is the worst trope that I've heard on many recent games. And for the longest time, I didn't think I would get to hear that type of dialogue or humor from a character in a Nintendo game. But my God, and it sounds horrible. It's the character that it is on the thumbnail. I'm not going to change the image. I'm just going to leave it at here. Leave it at that. If you want to check the gameplay videos that they have released, go and check those out if you want to make it like your own opinion. For me, it sounds horrible. I don't think Metroid. I don't think any game needs a companion. That Metroid is the worst game to do so. Like to have a character that goes, "Wow, really sick. You have to look at this door. Oh wow, you're really sneaky. You know that? Have someone else told you?" Like that type of that way of speaking is not natural at all. I think that comes from California. I've read like that is something very common in California to speak like in such like an over exaggerated way. But most of the world doesn't speak that way. Like even now, I would say that type of speaking is really annoying. I think people mostly do it for like the meme aspect as a joke. People speak like that, um, like I said, as a jokingly. They don't speak like that way in the real world. So for Nintendo to think that in a franchise that is famous for the suspension aspect of the games themselves, like, oh, I'm all alone on this planet, what could be in the next room? And yeah, I know that in the Prime franchise, because I said I never played it, but I saw some cutscenes. Yeah, you're not alone in the entire game, but even in those cutscenes where you are accompanied by people, like even some a group of people, you never hear that way of speaking of, "Whoa, we have to shoot these guys. Oh, you have to aim higher." No, you hear like a professional like, dialogue that you would hear from a professional like elite group of marines or something like that. It reminds me of again, I never watched Star Trek when I was a kid. I started watching a couple of episodes when I was an adult, but it's a very appropriate comparison to the old Star Trek with the new Star Trek. When you watch older Star Trek series, they're very professional on how they sound, how they articulate, how they present the scenarios that they find each other to themselves and to the audience. It's like they don't say, "Oh wow, look at the plan, look at the ship, it's destroyed." No, they say like, "We're here in space, on quadrant something. We see a ship that is on, or it seems like to be in very bad shape. We're going to take a look at it um for an examination," something like that. I can't put up the words because English is my second language, so I'm not going to come up with a professional sounding scene. But you get what I mean. It's not like this way of people call it like Redditor Redditor language. I've never been to Reddit that much, so I can't say for the I can't say for that. But it's really annoying. And yeah, you've seen it in many games nowadays. Very famous are those the Forspoken, was it? Game for from Square Enix, which when you play the game doesn't have anything from of what you would expect from Square Enix. Which one? Dustborn was also like those kind of games. Um, Concord is a famous joke of a game, but this way of speaking that it looks like they took the Marvel like way of speaking, which started with Joss Whedon, and they exaggerated the heck out of it. And now we're seeing it on games. We saw it on movies, then it moved up to series, to TV series. Now we're seeing it on games, and we're seeing it in the sorry in the worst type of games that it should be. As I said, if they added on Concord, I don't care because that is a new franchise. If that is the tone that you're setting with your game, I don't want to play it. But for some people, I'm sure it would. Or Metroid, Like, do you think that the Metroid fans are willing to put up with this kind of like way of speaking? For me, it is one of the most idiotic ways of what they could have done with any character. We have someone in the chat. Oh, Lord Sila, as always. Hello, hello. He says they're making an Elden Ring movie. Not every game needs a movie. It always gets Disney washed. That is a very good point. I think many people, because Disney was at the top of the game for such a long time. And yes, every single like movie production company is started to copy it, and it gets really boring to some extent. As you said, every franchise loses its identity in order to comply with the Disney like checklist, and you end up with someone that nobody likes. You're not appealing to a mass audience that it's because it has a name that they are not familiar with, and you're not appealing to the game or the franchise fans. You change everything from it. So what else did Lord Silla says? The West is having trouble making faithful adaptations. Yes, although if you look at the backtrack, if I'm being honest, they always have this trouble of making faithful adaptations. Even when you look back at the Superman movies, which I genuinely like the first two Superman movies, but even then you can tell there are some aspects of like easy aspects of some characters from the comics or some plots from the comics that you could have adapted better and it feels like you didn't want to adapt it as they should. It feels like it was right there to adapt it as good as it could, but it honestly feels like you don't want to adapt it. It's not that oh we couldn't because of this or that. No, I don't want to adapt it. It honestly feels that way, and it could be something from the producers. The producers are a deal or break thing in Hollywood. They could be the best freaking aspect of some game or some movie, but they can also mean the doom of it because they want to like put their overhand in everything that they need to control everything because no, I'm putting money on this project, so my input it has to be there. But you're adapting something. If you want your input to be on everything, make something new. Make something on your own. Don't just buy the rights of some franchise and then start filling it with your stuff. But yeah, the West is having trouble with that. Metro Prime now is suffering. I saw a lot of people not being happy with the reaction online, and justifiably because if I'm being honest, I was interested on not only buying this game but buy the entire Prime franchise. uh Metroid Prime 1 being on the Switch, it was easier for me to buy that one. 2 and 3 I was going to buy it from my Wii on the Prime Trilogy disc, and then I was going to go ahead and buy Prime 4, but if I'm being honest, after those videos, I'm not interested in buying it. I'm not going to buy Metro Prime 4, even though I was going to. Is this the end of Metroid? It's hard to say because that's one aspect that I want to like highlight for the Metroid Prime 4 gameplay videos that we saw. They they clearly are going all the way for a Metroid game. Like this game clearly looks high budget when you see the expressions and the model of the game, the characters' faces. They look very high detail face models, almost like to the point of competing with some like Red Dead Redemption. Maybe not the two, maybe not Red Dead Redemption 2, but the first one definitely, which is good to see for a franchise that has been dormant for all these years. But if you're going to bring back Metroid with that writing on it, I honestly rather the franchise to die because if the if the contrast um if the your solution to bring back the franchise is to bring it with that type of writing on it and that type of annoying characters, I don't want anymore. That happened to me with comics. That happened to me with movies. I don't want them if you're going to give it to me with these like traps. It honestly feel like traps. These annoying characters, this annoying way of speaking. in these franchises that don't need those things, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy. And that would be it. But yes, let's continue. That would be all for Metroid Prime 4. A long rant. I'm sorry if I went too far. We're going to continue with something that feels way out of hand for this channel. We're going to talk about the UFC. As I said in my last stream, I became quite a UFC fan. I watched for a long time. 25. I've been watching since 2018, I think, since the first Conor McGregor against Khabib Nurmagomedov fight, which that was a very high, um, a very big deal in the MMA world. And ever since I've been watching, and you know what? When you watch the UFC, there are two camps because being a mixed martial arts, you have the strikers, which, as the name indicates, they're more adept at punching people and knocking out people or knocking technical knocking out, which is when you strike and your opponent doesn't go to sleep, but it trips them, and then the opponent start like hammering their fist or beating them up on the ground enough for the referee to say stop. That is how a striker usually ends up their fights. Or also there's like the cases of like Sean Strickland, which they mostly like outland their opponent with jabs or hooks and all that, but not knocking out power. Which is, you know what, you have your give and take with that. And also you have your grapplers, which similar to the strikers, you have the finishing ones, which are like the one who are like grabbing your opponent and going for the rear naked choke or with their arm triangle. They want to finish their opponent. And then there's also the other extreme with fighters like Belal, which they seem to dominate the fight for the 3 or 5 rounds in order to get the score enough points to get the match. The thing is, yes, it's way more exciting to watch a submission or a finish. I'm not going to argue with that. The thing is, this year, I don't know why I didn't change the title. Sorry. UFC 322 rant. I don't know why this year two of the most like distinguished grapplers, those being the gentleman that you're seeing on the screen right now, Islam Makhachev, and also um the other, my God, I'm blanking on names right now. Now people are not going to believe that I'm a fan. What is the name of the middleweight champion UFC? Hamza Chimaev. Um, Hamza Chimaev also being the other grappler that I'm talking about. These two were very famous for being grapplers, but people always said, but these are the fan grapplers because they don't want to like hug the opponent until they get the decision. They want to like look for a submission. They want to finish their opponent. They were both famous for that. And this year, the two of them were on title fights. They were total. Oh my god, they were so boring at all. I don't know how to put it, but seeing someone, it's like in striking when you see someone that you know is going to finish their opponent. Instead of finishing their opponent, they want to like. Sorry, as you see, I'm still I'm still sleepy from the boring fight that we saw. But yes, Islam Makhachev went against Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight title in order for Islam Makhachev to go for the second title that he won, as you can see on the image. But he won it on the most boring way possible. And for me, it was weird to see that from Islam. Like you usually see those kind of performances from, as I said, like Abolal Mohammed, or you saw it with Valentina Shevchenko on the earlier card, on the earlier part of the night with the other title fight that they fought. Yeah, it was a very boring fight. Uh, no, not much action. The closest one we got was Jack Della Maddalena wanted to like have a clinch and fight on the inside. That's why they call it, and they didn't make it that long for that. But yeah, and the whole fight it was like 3 minutes each round, which the rounds only last 5 minutes. In each round, they had like 3 minutes of Islam just being on top of Jack de la Maddalena, and that was the whole night. And that was very disappointing to see because Islam was like the golden goose in as grapplers go. Like this was the guy that people use as example to say, no, grapplers are exciting. Look at Islam Makhachev. Before it was grapplers are exciting. Look at Hamza Chimaev. Hamza Chimaev just came out from one of the most boring fights in the middleweight division, and that's saying a lot because the middleweight division is a whole kind of worms by themselves. And now Islam Makhachev, which is famous for finishing people, now gives us a freaking snoozer of a title fight in a night that had like 3 or 4 finishes, like back to back to back. It was an amazing card to watch up until the title fights. The title fights were so boring, and for a fan like me to see this, it's rough to, for me as a fan, it's rough to recommend this sport to my friends who are not fans of the sport. Because if I show fights like this, which are title fights, these are supposed to be the big fights of the year. This doesn't happen like every weekend. These are supposed to be special occasions. And if I show them that, oh, look at the title fight that they fought right now, and they come up with this, which it only looks like Islam is holding on top of it. I know that from a technical aspect of fighting, that grabbing someone and like controlling them on the ground is a very difficult thing to do. I get that, but for a marketing aspect or a company that is supposed to be entertainment, UFC is entertainment at the end of the day. And for the UFC to go that far, as I said, still sleepy from watching the fight. For the UFC to go down that road of like not standing up, and yes, many people are going to say, but can the UFC do? Like these are the fighters doing. Yes, I get that, and that is true, like to a 60% aspect. But the UFC could do more stuff. Like they've done in other fights, do the stand up, which is when the opponent is not really doing anything on top of the other fighter. They're just like holding in position and not doing anything. The referee can come by and separate them, make them stand up, and start the fight on their feet again. And that is a very like reasonable thing to do, especially in this sport in which you can um, you can hold someone on the ground for a long ass time, and it becomes way too boring after a certain point. Like I can understand like 1 minute to of stalling, even though that is a bunch because it's 1/5 of the round. But 3 minutes each round, it really was a boring night, as I said. And the grapplers doesn't don't get punished for not being able to finish their opponent. Like again, I understand that taking down your opponent and holding them on the ground is hard. But in a sport, if you're not looking for a finish or you can't get the finish, why are people like rewarding you with control time? When it's not fun to see, like at least when you watch someone with the striking, it's more obvious when they are trying to strike better with their opponent, they're leaving them exposed because when you're punching, you're leaving all that side of your body vulnerable for your opponent to counterattack. In wrestling, it's not that simple. It's way more difficult to counter wrestling, especially when the skill is that the gap skill is very high. But yes, the UFC needs to do something with this. It needs to be honestly, it needs to be more consistent because they've done the stand up and the separation in other fights, but in these fights, especially with someone who comes from the the Caucasus regions, like Islam Makhachev or maybe Amarab Devarashvili, they don't stand them up very often, which is weird to see. When in other cases they like, okay, 20 seconds, you've done nothing with your taken, stand up. It's weird to see. Like either you do that with everyone or you do that with with nobody. So yeah, that's how I wanted to get that out of my system because I've been such a fan, and this was painted to be one of the biggest fights of the year, similar to what we saw with Khamzat Chimaev against Dricus du Plessis on the middleweight division, which was also like hyped to be one of the best fights of the year, and both of them being ended up being such snoozers. I honestly fear for the sport. I honestly think the sport could die with these kind of performances. So the UFC really needs to like make a wake up call. Need to have a wake up call and call some of their champions and tell them, you know what, you need to work on your striking because these grappling sessions they're not going to give you pay per view numbers. The worst part is if they get the win, they get the win. Some of these fighters really don't need the money, so if they can get the win hugging their opponent for the 25 minutes, I think they're okay to do so. But it's disappointing to see. But that would be like for my UFC rant. We're going forward to, I think, yeah, that will be it. So with the title now, we are marking with our goodbyes, which includes for me read the rest of the chat. And I see Lord Silla right here giving more. I don't think messages are sending seems it's glitching. Oh, have you chatted more? I don't think they're going through then. Oh, that is bad. If you're chatting and the messages aren't going through, I'm sorry, Lord Silla. It may have something to do with the new like provider that I'm using with the stream elements. I think I'm going to drop stream elements because I don't think it's very useful for what I'm. What did Ursula says now? I heard you do YouTube on subs to viewers. Do you have Discord? I have Discord, but I don't use it that much. Um, but I don't haven't seen my subs dropping that much. I mean, when I came back, some of them dropped, which I thought it might happen because sometimes you're subscribed to someone and then you forget, and then when they come back, you say, "Oh, I don't want to be subscribed to you anymore." I understood when people unsubscribe from my channel. But yes, I have a Discord, but I have a Discord account. I don't have a server. If I'm being honest, I don't intend to have a server because I think it's way too much for me to handle. And since I don't use Discord that much, I don't know many of the functions that come with it. But yes, if you would like to add me as a friend on Discord, I'm in the Godzilla Battle Line Global. So search me as Mike Pine. I'm Mike Pine, just as it is on the Godzilla Battle Line Global. You can look for me there. Maybe I will make a server, mainly just in case I want to have some guests on the Mike's log. That would be very useful. But for now, that will be it. So yeah, I covered every topic that I wanted to cover. So yeah, that was Mike's vlog. Thank you all so much for watching. For Lord Sila, who's here, for everyone who's also on the live, and whoever is watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching and making it this far. I really appreciate you. I'm making these streams in order to get my tortoise named Toto back to health. So if you'd like to donate, the PayPal link is right there. Lord Sila says Toto update. I already gave an update on the start of a stream. If you didn't heard it, um, TLDR, Toto's doing fine. He's doing better than he was a couple of weeks ago. He's more energetic. He's eating again. As I said in a few streams back, it ebbs and flows. Some days he eats a lot, others not so much, which forces me to feed him with the sun with the tube because he has to eat. He needs those nutrients. I'm taking it outside a few hours, a couple of hours every day because he needs the sun. The sun is very good for him. But yes, the exams are not looking that good. If I'm being honest, the blood exams and also I don't know how to say it in English, but that thing when they check out the pregnant women when they check the baby with the sonar, I think they also did one of those to Toto, which didn't look that good. His kidneys and his lungs are not looking that great, but they're better for what they were a few weeks. Um, the issue is since his kidneys are not working great, he is accumulating a very big amount of toxins inside of his body instead of releasing them. So he is he's like accumulating diseases like pneumonia. He has staph, which is another big thing. So yeah, but things are looking good. He had all of those stuff when I adopted it, so we're walking through each each infection at a time. Lorcilla says YouTube buffers and has streaming delays. Oh, that might be it. I hope that is because stream elements, as I said before, is not working. I mean, it's working fine, but I don't see the point of using this instead of the of regular OBS. Maybe someone can give me like a few tips that I can make better use of my stream elements. But for now, I don't see much improvement. But yeah, I think that will be it for my stream. Thank you, Lord Silla, for being here and for making me know of letting me know of the YouTube stream buffer and delay. I'll be back. I think tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I think I'll be back. Maybe we will play more GBL. Maybe we will play another game. I think another game would be more acceptable. And I'm going to be I'm going to do my best in order for the next Sunday to also have a Mike's log that covers all of the events of the week. I want to do this every week. The problem is sometimes there isn't no news from anyone on the pop culture side. So yeah, I will try to make this weekly, and I'll be back streaming. I'll be back streaming tomorrow. So look forward to that. And yeah, that will be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Oh, message from Lord Sila. When are you doing vertical streams? I'm going to do one tomorrow. I think I'm going to do GBL. GBL is a pretty easy like format to do a vertical stream, so that would be great to see. And the other channel, which is Portable Leftovers, I think I'm going to start streaming that past tomorrow, the day past tomorrow. That will be my first stream because now I'm able to stream. I wasn't able to stream on that channel, and I only want to use that channel as a streaming service, like a streaming like avenue, and upload the streams. Maybe cut them if you only want to watch one level of the game, and then take those clips of those games and upload them as reviews on this channel. So yes, that's when I'm doing the streams that I promised a few days back. I wasn't able to do them because of as I said, time reasons, and also my internet was acting very bad these last couple of days. But everything seems to go run well now. So yeah, send link. It doesn't appear on YouTube search. I didn't send a link last stream. I'll send one right now. Give me just a second. Sorry, my voice is acting up. As I said on the beginning of the stream, I'm I'm kind of dehydrated right now. So yes, and this will be it. There it goes. Portable leftovers. That is the link of my other channel. I'm going to, as I said before, I'm going to start streaming on it the day past tomorrow. I'm going to start streaming, as the name implies, portable games, especially portable games that have a console counterpart. I was thinking of starting with the Donkey Kong Land series of video games, but we can do something. If you have a suggestion, let me know here in the comments of this video, or maybe send a message on the other channel. As I said, look at this. I'm very sweaty. This is a very hot day here in Chile, and it's a very hot room that I'm in now. So yeah, that will be it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next stream. Goodbye. Wait to take it. My hat. Look at that. Look at all those sweat. Sorry. This you should put it in the main channel. The streams. We'll see. We'll see. As I said, I'm trying to make like this stream like the main content of the channel. So I think it will muddle the water a bit, but we'll see. Anything is possible. Thank you, Lord Silver, for being here. Goodbye.